Hello everyone, welcome to this video, which is something that I've been looking very much forward to because today we are going to have a look at a very special statue created by H.M.O Collectibles in collaboration with Studio Hive. This is the Dante quarter-scale statue from the Devil May Cry series. And as you can see, this is a very big piece because he comes in two boxes. And that itself is very impressive, I think. And I can also testify to the fact that this is a very heavy piece, and I think much of that weight is, well, it's of course some of it is the figure itself, but I think mainly the base is going to be very impressive once we get it out. But yeah, I'm really excited about having a look at this statue here. To be quite honest, I haven't played the video games myself, so I'm not really that familiar with the universe of Devil May Cry, but I've seen a lot of artwork over the course of time, and I know that this game series has a large following. Both of the boxes are more or less identical apart from the size of them, but they contain the same writing on the back here. In the very top it says H.M.O Collectibles, with the collaboration of the highly talented Studio Hive, is proud to present Dante from Capcom's Devil May Cry series. And then I'm gonna leave it to you to read the rest. Down here is a list of all the collaborators or the individuals that were involved in creating this piece here. I'm not gonna try and read out their names because I don't want to insult anyone with my mispronunciation, so I'm just gonna leave the names here for you to read. But in any case, these are some very talented people, and I'm very excited about this statue. I can't wait to get it out of the box and show you everything about it. So sit back and relax, and I hope you'll enjoy this video. I'll be throwing in unboxing part, an assembly part, my review and final thoughts, and towards the very end I'm also going to include a photo gallery so you can see all of the details up close. So yeah, as I said, sit back and relax, and I hope that you are going to enjoy this video. Alright guys, so here we have the Dante statue by H.M.O Collectibles, all assembled on top of my turntable here. And yeah, what I want to do in this video is to kind of go over all aspects of this statue and give you a good sense of what he looks like, and basically the quality and everything that we have here. So I'm probably going to zoom in and give you some close-ups of the face and the suit he's wearing, and of course I'm also going to talk about the base that he's standing on, so that you get a good sense of everything here basically. So yeah, I think we'll just go straight ahead now and have a look at the facial sculpt and the paint application. Okay, so here we have a close-up of the facial sculpt here, and as you can see, he looks very, very nice. I do definitely feel that the sculpt of the face here is one of the stronger aspects of this statue. He just somehow has a lot of character going on here. It's kind of hard to put a finger on it exactly, but there's something about the way that he looks that I feel is realistic and believable in a way, so he looks like a real person. It's difficult really to show you many angles from this clip here, so I'm just gonna throw in some photos. But yeah, he looks very nice. I think the sculpt is just amazingly done here, and also the paint application looks awesome. The prototype of this statue was originally painted by James TCE, and well, I do really feel that the production piece that I have here comes up on a very close level to that of the prototype. It's a very nice skin tone that we see here on this piece. There are small pigments in the skin, in the flesh, and there are these beard stubs that are kind of hard to tell. And then there are the lips that is also very nicely done, I think. It looks very realistic, I think. And the eyes are perfectly aligned, looking straight forward. So yeah, I really feel that the paint application of the head here is done in a very nice way. The hair is this white color with some gray tones and some shades and highlights, as you would expect, and it looks amazing, I think. So I would definitely argue that the portrait of this statue is one of the main attractions, something that you really notice, and it functions, in my opinion, as a strong selling point of this statue. Alright, I'm gonna zoom out now, and I'm gonna see if I can show you the whole body, and we can discuss the rest of the character of Dante here on top of this base. So I'll see if I can set up the camera in a better way, so we can get a good look at that. Or else I'm of course gonna throw in those photos so you get a good sense of what he looks like. Alright, so I think this angle should do the job. Now, this is a very dynamically posed statue, and it's no secret that I'm usually not that big a fan of dynamic poses, but in the case of Dante here, I actually really feel that it works quite well. From this particular angle, I especially feel that the dynamic pose comes to its full potential, sort of. I really like that the symmetry with his arms towards the back here in like a V shape, and you can almost sense how he's flowing or moving in a specific path here and leaning a bit to his left. I think it's a very graceful look to him, and I think one of the key words to describe this is that it looks very graceful. And in that sense, I really feel that the use of a dynamic pose comes to its full potential in this case. But yeah, let's have a closer look at him here. Now, as you can see, his cloak is flowing towards the back and also raised up a bit. The sculpt of it is really well done. You can actually trace all the small stitches on the cloak here, on the jacket actually. And there are some nice highlights and shades going on it as well. There's actually quite a heavy level of shading going on, which gives it this more gritty and darker feel almost. The red is also a different tone or nuance compared to the other red parts of Dante's suit. So if I turn him like this, you'll be able to see his pants a bit better and his vest. They're also red, but in a different tone. And they are also, well, nicely highlighted and shaded and everything. It all comes together in creating this iconic suit or outfit for Dante that looks really cool, I think. So yeah, overall it looks very impressive in my opinion. And yeah, as I turn into the side here, you can again get a good sense of the flowing dynamic pose of this statue here. There are some awesome details, as I already mentioned. There's these stitchings going on everywhere. The texture of his pants is that of a much leather-like finish. And then on the interior suit here, the black parts, they have stripes going on. So there are these nice small details that can be difficult to spot immediately, but once you get up and close to this statue, you'll start noticing all these small details. It looks very nice, I think. And let's see, depending on the angle, yeah, I can switch out his left hand at least. So it fits in with a magnet, and then he has his other one here that holds a double-barreled shotgun, which also looks very cool. It's actually nicely painted. It has these wooden parts that look very realistic, actually. So it's nice to have these display options. Personally, I do prefer having the dual-wield guns. I feel that really adds or complements the overall pose of him, because he has this unique symmetry with his arms going to each side here. And I just feel that having the same weapon in each hand just kind of tops off this symmetry that I really like. But yeah, very unique look here, and I have to say that this dynamic pose, as I said, not usually that big a fan of that kind of stuff, but in this case it really makes this statue stand out, and it really works well here. And everything about the sculpt here is just done in such a nice way that it complements this look for this statue here. So yeah, very nicely done by H.M.O, I feel. A very, very unique pose that you rarely see anything similar with other statues, especially in this scale, I would say. Alright, by now I've probably also thrown in some photos, but you can expect to find a lot of photos also towards the end of this video, in case you feel that you didn't get all the details that I'm talking about maybe. I'll be sure to try and add photos to really show you this piece up close, so you can see all those small details to the paint and also to the sculpt. While we have him at this angle, by the way, I feel I need to mention one small flaw that I have with this statue. Kind of not a deal breaker in any way, but I feel I need to mention this. On his belt buckles here on the chest, you have these silver buckles, or well, whatever you call these, and there is a bit of paint overlap going on here, so the red color is intruding just a bit on the metal parts here. So there could have been a bit more care from the factory in separating these two colors, especially on these three buckles on his very chest here. But that is basically the only paint flaw I can point out when it comes to this statue, and that is quite impressive, I would say. And these small details here are in no way a deal breaker or a showstopper. This is a very nicely painted statue overall, and you rarely see a level of paint application on a piece like this from a production standpoint, at least. So yeah, with that said, I think we are about ready to move on to the base now, which is a very detailed and rich base that I'm looking forward to showing you. Alright, so here we have the base, and yeah, it's actually a very big and impressive base, as you can see here. And one of the things that I noticed when I unboxed it was the fact that it's actually very heavy. And one of the reasons I believe for that is the fact that this is a very dynamic pose of this statue, with Dante almost leaving the actual area of the base. And in order to kind of avoid this piece having a balance shift issues or leaning and crashing towards the front, they threw in a lot of mass into the main area of the base in order to stabilize it, thereby avoiding any balance shifts of this base here. And that's really nice, because what you end up with is a statue that feels very, very heavy, and that adds to the overall experience of a quality statue. I do believe that weight in a way factors in when you evaluate a statue. It just somehow makes the piece feel more quality-like, and I think that's very important. But yeah, as you can see, it's highly detailed. You have these 3 wooden guys that are actually marionettes from the game series, and it's nice when they take content from the actual game and throw it in here just to kind of top everything off. So you have these highly detailed characters here on the base, each in their own colorful suit. We have a blue, a green, and a purple guy, and they're nicely detailed. We also have these red orbs going on all over the base in different sizes. These are also taken from the actual game series, and it's nice, as I said, that they add these kind of details that really sets the mood, but also is a clear representation of something taken directly from the game. The sculpt of these guys is amazing, I think. I mean, the faces of them are really haunting in a way, and also all these wooden limbs here. If you get up close to them, you can actually trace fibers and everything on the surface here, and it just looks very convincing and highly detailed. It's actually very, very impressive. The suits that they're wearing are also nicely detailed. There's a lot of stuff going on. Actually, you would be surprised if you could see it all. This guy, the blue one, has like weathering going on here, and you can actually also sense the texture of the fabric parts. All of it is of course sculpted, but it really looks realistic still. And all this is really nicely complemented by the paint application. Again, this is a production piece. This is what the factory performed, and it looks amazing, I think. Also, especially these wooden areas here, you have different nuances going on, and it really complements the nice sculpt here. So it's a very, very impressive piece, and base, I would say, highly detailed and perfectly executed, in my opinion. One of the things that I would really like to show you, but I'm not really capable of doing that, is the fact that these red orbs that you see all over the base, these faces here, they're actually painted with a very special paint that makes them, well, kind of give out or emanate a glow in specific lighting. I'm not really sure which kind of lighting, but I do believe it's maybe UV light, so ultraviolet. And if you shine that type of light onto these faces here, these orbs, they'll give out this very remarkable glow effect. I'm not able to show you that since I lack the light to do that. But I'm gonna throw in a photo so you can still get an idea of what I'm talking about. But that's also a very nice little detail that they added. They certainly didn't have to do that, but it really goes to show how much they care about kind of delivering on all fronts and just going above and beyond when creating this statue here. So yeah, it's a very impressive base. I can't really point out any flaws to it. It's just so detailed, so impressive. It really complements the character a lot. So yeah, they did an amazing job, H.M.O Collectibles, with this base here. Alright, let's move on. I'm gonna zoom out again and kind of wrap up this review by having an overall look of this character, and I'm gonna share my thoughts. So give me 1 second as I set up the camera once again. Alright, so once again we have him here from my favorite angle, looking at him from straight ahead. I just really like this angle because you can see the symmetry to the pose and just the movement and the flow of the statue in a nice way, I think. So yeah, I really love this angle. That's why I keep showing him like this. But yeah, let's just start off by having his sword arm. Now, I know this is kind of creeping out of the frame, but he has his sword arm here that will just fit in there instead. And I'm gonna swap it out right away. But I'm also gonna add some photos so you can better see the details of the sword. And it just fits in like that with a magnet, and it looks very nice, I think. Again, it's a really nice little added bonus that you can swap out the weapons that he's holding. That's really nice, I think. And when he is holding his sword, he obviously also becomes quite bigger, in the sense that the piece becomes higher and it takes up more space. And that's that's one of the things about this statue. I think it's a rather huge base. Having it in front of you, you would probably be surprised at how big it is. But as you can see, when he's leaning out of the base like this, he takes up quite a lot of space. So you need ideal room to be able to display this piece in a proper way, I think. And you can see my hand here. This is a rather big statue, actually. Now, I really feel the urge of actually swapping to his 2 dual-wield guns. So I'm gonna do that as we get closer to the end of this video, because this is the way I prefer him. So I would probably display him like this. There we go. But yeah, overall, I must say I'm actually deeply impressed with this statue. I don't even know the character or the universe of Devil May Cry that well, but I'm definitely curious now, so I'm probably gonna look a bit into that. But I must say that from a collector of statue standpoint, this is a very impressive statue. Everything from the very first moment that I opened up the brown shipper, you have this very low-key art box, and then of course you have the styrofoam boxes that are strapped with these Velcro straps that you also see H.M.O Studios do with their statues. I really love that statue companies are going this route, because you just feel that much more safe having the styrofoam box packed with these straps, I feel. And it's just a better feeling than having to cut open some generic tape in order to get this piece out. So it adds a bit of quality to this whole experience of getting this statue. But again, as I said, from a collector of statue standpoint, I'm really impressed with the overall quality of this statue here. The sculpt and the design, I mean, it's very, very impressive. And having a solid and strong concept to begin with goes a long way in creating an awesome statue. And that's definitely the case with this one here. And if we look at the face, I mean, the face is also one of the main selling points of this piece. It just is a very attractive looking statue in many ways. And also just the sculpt and the paint application, they are just very impressive. There are minor flaws to the paint application, as I mentioned, the buckles here, but overall the paint finish and the small details and everything like that are well made, exceptionally well made, I would even say. It's a very heavy piece, and I think I would even struggle picking him up. So yeah, that it's just a very nice feeling with a solid piece like this. And yeah, this is a very nice celebration of the Dante character. And if you're a fan of Devil May Cry, and I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there, this is certainly a worthy representation of that game series, I would venture to say, because this is just a very quality piece by H.M.O Collectibles. So yeah, with that said, I'm gonna wrap up this review here by throwing in all my photos that I took for this video, and I'm gonna collect them up in a sequence here towards the very end so you can see them. So I hope you'll stick around for that and take in all the small fine details that I had a hard time capturing just filming the piece like this. It's definitely worth the watch in my opinion, and it gives you a strong feeling of the level of detail that went into creating this statue here. With that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. It's probably a bit long by now, and I did decide to throw in the unboxing into this video as well. Sometimes I feel it's just too much time spent on creating an unboxing video separate from a review, but who knows, I might do separate videos in the future with future pieces as well. That might change from time to time, but in this case I felt I wanted to throw everything in one go, so you don't have to watch 2 separate videos. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and that it was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, of course, do leave them in the section just below. And also do remember to like and subscribe. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video.